11. Friends don't play.
Stop it! You're freaking her out!
She's freaking me out! The upside down.
Do you understand what he's talking about?
No. I found the chocolate pudding!
Oh God, please tell me it's not the kid.
I need you to hide!
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Holy shit.
Welcome back. My name is Chris.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things,
Steving Things. Sorry.
a Stranger Things podcast.
Oh man, that's going to be the last time we can say that for a while.
For a good while.
It's going to be a minute.
And thank you all for listening, just in general. We got a few important notes straight from the top. We got a lot of good emails from our little contest.
Plethora.
A myriad, if you will.
Cornucopia.
Andy,
Oh, shit.
synonym?
I
Synonym?
wish I had one. Cornucopia. Damn it.
We love our listeners. And one thing I do want to, just straight from the top, just dive into the meat and some emotional things. If you've been listening consistently, you do know that we're transitioning to a new format of the show here soon. We're going to keep streaming things. We've got amazing new artwork and logo to debut, to debut here soon.
Debut.
We'll be debuting that.
It sounds like you're removing someone's butt.
There were lots
shortly.
of butts in the artwork, and they're on their way out.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And Andy's working on some new intro music as well.
I actually jammed yesterday. It was pretty good.
Good.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? You
Put
said
in
that
the-
really
put in some
skeptically,
time.
Steve.
Did you and the rest of Pearl Jam get back together? That's great news.
They're not broken up, Steve. I just saw Pearl Jam live like 3 years ago.
The new tune is called Yellow Bed Letter, bro.
Bedwetter. Damn it, Andy.
Damn it. Oh, I
Lost
should've-
more points.
You know, after we do another hiatus, our theme song could be I'm Still Alive. That would be...
The only email that actually picked a host, by the way, chose Andy.
Yeah.
Said they wanted to eat his butt like chocolate pudding.
Yeah.
It's just- I think they got the contest wrong, but it's fine.
Or they got it very right.
They know what I'm about.
But yeah, I wanted to say thank you. A lot of listeners that wrote in pointed out, wow, I really love this show. It means a lot to me. It's unfortunate how unprofessional and inconsistent you are. Or something, some version of
I don't
that.
think they ever called us unprofessional. Inconsistent, yes.
Sucks how bad you suck.
So
Still
two
love you,
things I
though.
would like to note. Most of that is my fault. Like most of you know that my fiance and I split up during the huge or at the start of our huge hiatus, like right in the middle of when we stopped covering Westworld. So that was that.
We covered Westworld?
I had to switch homes and stuff. And but it's also there's a lot of busy stuff going on in our lives. You know, Steve has gone through multiple career transitions. Andy's gotten at least one college degree during this time. Steve's got an
I'm
ME.
working on another.
And he's
I'm
working
excited
on
about
another
it.
now.
And he also at least has 3 or 4 soccer games.
Yeah, per day.
And some darts from every now and then.
Couple of sprained wrists.
Steve went from Stu to Steve. That took a lot of work. Steve
you.
and I have both
He's
bought
transitioning
homes
back, though.
recently. Right. He's going to be back to Stu here soon. So anyway, a lot of life shit happens, and we don't get paid for this as much as we love it. So I just wanted to, we do the best that we can, but we are making a commitment right now, right here. It is on the air, our commitment to be consistent. So we've got probably a 2-week hiatus. And ironically, I don't, there's people yelling outside. You may not be able to hear that, but that's not the show.
I think they're yelling bullshit at us.
We've got protesters. That'd be awesome. Streaming thing sucks. That's a terrible chant. There's too many syllables. Take your asses back home and work on that.
Our haters aren't the brightest.
Anyway, yeah, it'd probably be 2 weeks from now. And then, so the new version of the show, or the different slightly, we're going to talk about all kinds of TV, film, and pop culture each week. You know, what we've been watching, what we've been doing, have a one themed email question or segment of the show, or, you know, do a huge breakdown of one particular film that's popular that week, something like that, right? That's the new version of Streaming Things. Until the next season of Stranger Things, we'll always take time to dive deep into Stranger Things, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We
gotta remember our roots.
Yeah, that's our roots.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage a lot of listener feedback, because that's what keeps us going more than anything. Like, especially during the long hiatus when I was like re-questioning my life and living in a tiny little shitty apartment and just wondering where the hell it all went wrong. But guided by a few bright lights, and then I got an email from a listener.
I love that band.
In like, what was it, Norway or something like that?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
about how much we meant to her life, and that she's sad that we haven't published in a long time, but she's listened to our show over 20 times, and it's meant a lot to her and her struggles. And I was like, holy shit. So it, you know, caused us to get the band back together. So please write into streamingthingspod@gmail.com at any time and let us know, what you're watching, what you're going through, what the show means to you, or anything of any nature. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and when we start the reboot of Streaming Things in the future, I mean, it's going to be a format that we're going to be toying with. So if something's working and if something's not working, we want to hear from you guys, because ultimately we make the show for you and for your little ear holes. And if they love something we're doing, let us know. If they hate something we're doing, definitely let us know. And we will try to make the show as best as possible for you.
No, Steve, you make the show for them. Chris and I make the show for you.
Guys.
We do it for the Steve. It's just like Fred Durstead, except instead of Nookie, Steve.
Do it for the Stevie.
As mentioned before, we're branching out too. The podcast is going to be the main format, and we are on Spotify now, so fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You got to search awful hard to find it.
You have to
Happy
search
2020, we all.
If you know someone who's on Spotify and you want to tell them how they can follow us, make sure they're searching for Streaming Things, a Stranger Things podcast, and then we'll come right up.
But that's not going to be our show name anymore, right? It's just going to be Streaming Things.
That's just currently as of now.
Are we going back to Binge and Nerd?
No.
I mean, I'm okay with it, but Andy's
On YouTube,
hates it.
we're going to be doing Streaming Things TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's agreed.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's, I guess, another announcement. We're going to be on YouTube soon too.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Well, yeah, that's where I was leading. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, we'll see how well it works out. We
barely
got a
lead,
lot of filmmaking equipment. But we're going to do some multi-camera live action stuff with OBS, and it'll be a very
We're
experimental.
going to attempt it.
There will be at least a camera.
Eventually, it'll get better, but expect it to be a little rough in the early goings of it.
So stick with us, because I think another problem too is, Stranger Things is by far our most popular content. I mean, we have 10 times the listeners during an active Stranger Things, whatever you want to call it.
Season.
Well, I meant like, what's the word when there's like a fever?
Oeuvre.
No, wrong. Anyway, when everybody's fucking
Zeitgeist.
digging straight. Yeah, no,
Zeitgeist.
wrong.
When it's in the zeitgeist.
We're bad with words right now. Good thing it's not just like a words-based show. So,
When we're in the real shit.
but whenever we try to switch to like Altered Carbon or Game of Thrones even, or Westworld, like our listenership drops by, 75%. So it's hard to keep it going when we don't hear from the loved ones and we don't know what's going on and what you want. But instead of, diverging everyone and picking a specific property that a lot of people don't like, or we're just going to do everything every week. What's hot with us?
Because that was a big problem for us, is we would spend an entire episode talking about The Punisher on Netflix, and no one would listen to that.
One was episode 1, the rest the second episode was the rest.
Yeah, because no one listened to that, and then we got a bunch of people who listened to our Star Wars coverage, and then we started doing Black Mirror, and that was all over the place.
When you said The
and-
Punisher, I did the classic Frank
John
grunt.
Bernthal.
And you guys talked over it, and it made it seem really weird and Tourette's-like, so I had to mention it. Nobody acknowledged it, so I didn't want to just
didn't
have
want to
that in the
acknowledge-
background.
we just plowed through your Tourette's.
That would be a terrible podcaster.
Just every now and then you would just grunt
Shit
like
footballs.
that.
I can't wait to see that on YouTube, dude.
I'm sorry to our listeners that have Tourette's. I'm just saying it doesn't befit the medium a lot. That's all I'm saying. It's fine if you try. Anyway, Steve looks horrified. I just keep it real. The the people that are all about my pudding, that's what they appreciate. He's not sure.
Love about my pudding.
So I look forward to more of the content. It is coming. Give us about 2 weeks to adjust. I'm moving into my new home this week. I close, I think, on Wednesday. Speaking of which, this is funny. I'm supposed to close on Friday, which Carissa's a little superstitious. And she pointed out, hey, do you really want to close on the home on Friday the 13th? And it's also a full moon. And I was like, I really don't think that's going to matter, but I get
Shut up.
I get what you're saying.
Whoa, the house could be a werewolf.
So then I said, I'll just move it to Wednesday because that's better for me anyway, because I don't work Wednesday, but I do Friday. And then I was thinking about it. I was at my office and I was like, holy shit, that's 9/11.
Hey, the good thing about that is you'll never forget when you close.
So now I'm going to close on my home on either 9/11 or Friday the 13th.
Oh, shit.
What a bind.
I still think, the 11th is better. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So, my house is doomed. But yeah, so today we're going to recap season 3 of Stranger Things, go through our favorite moments, our top 3 favorite episodes, themes from the show, go through all the Easter eggs that we missed or might have missed, as well as predictions for season 4. how our predictions for season 3 back when we did season 2 have fared. All those kind of fun things. Stay tuned. I don't know what you're doing if you're driving or if you're just sitting. That'd be kind of weird. I don't listen to podcasts just sitting in my house unless I'm like doing dishes.
I do it all the time.
Andy does. He lays in
love
bed
it.
and listens to shit.
I do it, yeah.
Maybe I'm the guy out. I don't know. I'd like to be doing other things while I'm listening. I don't know.
Feel passive listener.
So write in. Again, I can't stress that enough. streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Let us know how you're feeling, what you're doing. We'll have various contests at various times, but we're also going to have a lot of email writing in based questions to structure the show around, and we just love hearing from you at any time. Speaking of which, we had a contest. The winner gets a $50 Amazon gift card, or Fitty Bones, as Steve likes to say.
Fitty bones.
So we got a few of our top 3. Since we do a lot of top 3s here, we're going to do our top 3 favorite emails of all the ones that we got, and then pick the winner at the very end. Andy, I believe you're going to start us off.
So this email comes in from Phil Armstrong. Phil writes, "Ahoy, this is Phil from Cincinnati. Please consider my entry for the current Streaming Things contest."
No.
And he put the little rights reserved thing on there. It's pretty legit.
Very well done.
I listen to the show for 2 reasons. First, as I watch season 3 alone, it's nice to get the perspectives of others who not only watched the show, but scrutinized it to a degree that I didn't. As a result of listening to Streaming Things, rights reserved, I find myself feeling differently about Stranger Things. Oftentimes, it validates my love for it, and sometimes I become more critical of its writing. The episode scene-by-scene breakdown is helpful in catching details and clearing up plot points that I missed. It's because of these alternative perspectives that I'm able to relive the series again while at my desk instead of in front of the TV. Secondly, I also listen because of Emmy Award-winning Steve May. You see,
me?
I only listen to podcasts who are co-hosted by award winners who have at least 25% of an EGOT. For those that don't know, that's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Deigning to spend my time consuming culture not backed by the guarantee that an award winner was involved in this production would be comical at best. Because Streaming Things, rights reserved, prominently features the verified analytic prowess and signature speaking pipes of Emmy Award-winning Steve May, I listen with confidence. It is only a matter of time before Chris and Andy win their awards too. Thirdly, Andy, my favorite porn site is dibsonskins.com.
Just a great one.
Dibs on skins.
We
Thank
love
you,
you,
Phil.
So that was Phil from Cincinnati. Stu, why don't you read us one?
Well, the one that I have the pleasure of reading comes in from Mr. Ryan McKenna.
Subject line.
I guess I'm entering ellipses. Coming in hot.
You are indeed, Ryan.
He writes, I went looking for Stranger Things podcast back when season 2 came out. You guys are the best one out of the 4 or 5 I found. Within a week of that day, I had listened to every episode of both seasons of your show. Twice.
My dude.
I enjoyed your show more than some of the episodes of the actual show. Anyway, my fiance and I got pregnant and life changed, but I couldn't wait to come back to you guys even season 3 came. What?
I think he meant...
But I couldn't wait to come back to listen to you guys even when season 3 came back. I wish the last 3 episodes came sooner.
I get
but
it.
I'm glad you all came back in any capacity. Ellipses. Do Mindhunter.
Do Mindhunter.
That's a good suggestion. The first season, I don't know if you guys have seen the first season.
I've
Mindhunter.
seen both seasons.
I'm
It is
halfway
wonderful.
through the second.
I still need to start the second, but I love the first one.
It
It's
is
good.
phenoms. It is phenoms. I love how Ryan started. And actually, Ryan's actually a solid fan. I mean, he follows us on Twitter and engages a lot and always has. But the email, if you didn't know that, starts off really ambivalent. And, you know, it's like, I guess I'm entering. Anyway, I went looking for a Stranger Things podcast. There was like 4 or 5, and you guys were the best. You know what I mean? It's just-
I guess I'll give you guys props.
I didn't look much harder for a better one.
I mean,
Thank you, Ryan.
That looks pretty hard. Usually, when I want to listen to a show's podcast, I will stop at 2. I will be like, these are the 2 I'm choosing. If I don't like them, I'm just not listening to any of them.
Dude, when I pick a show to follow for some specific niche thing, like they have 10 seconds max to hook me, and then they're done, and I'm moving on to the next one.
Which a lot of people like you have already tuned out 20 minutes ago in this episode is what you're
Oh,
saying.
for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
These guys sound like they're on coke, which is one email that we got. Thank you. No cocaine here. So anyway,
Yes.
the winner.
Maybe a little.
And I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name correctly, and I don't think you told us where you were writing from. I can't believe I picked you as a winner. You can't follow directions.
Oh, is this the winner?
Yeah, this is the winner.
Ooh, this is the winner.
Steve Vukovic. which I think is how you pronounce that.
We like Steve.
Steve,
We
he's such
picked
a
him
good guy.
because of the names.
Congratulations, buddy. Why do you
Subject
win?
line, "My Strange Dudes." What up, guys? Another season in the bag. Good job. Thought you all died in a fire for a while there. But you came back.
I
See,
mean-
told you there was a theme.
Wait, you're not far off.
Also, all right, so best Star Wars. The answer is Empire, always.
Great
Anyone
answer.
who thinks otherwise probably voted for Trump. Chocolate pudding, Dr. Brenner wins, hands down. Though he only pops in for 30 seconds here and there, the dude's got mad podcasting skills.
He does.
Dr. Brenner may or may not make an appearance today. I know his schedule's all booked up, but he said he would try to pop in. In all honesty,
He'll be rushing to come in if he can.
I think you're all great.
Oh,
You play off each other perfectly. I really hope you continue putting these out on a weekly basis. He didn't italicize that, but I felt like in his mind it was.
oh yeah.
Any thoughts on what's next? There's a lot of thoughts on it, Steve. I'd love if you guys recap movies. Top of the list, Jurassic Park 3 and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. LOL.
What?
I would love to review those because those would be fun just to tear apart.
The pinnacles of filmmaking. Anyway, thanks again for all the laughs. Keep up the great work. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Kim. You're the goosebumps to my Will's neck, the wiggly blood to my 11's leg. Will you marry me?
Oh, will you?
I'm just fucking with you. Thanks, dudes. Rock on. So sorry to Kim if you thought you were being proposed to, and I hope you actually listen, or that'd be a weird shout
That would
out.
be.
I assume they both listen. That's amazing. So, Steve, you're the winner just because you tried to prank your girlfriend. I assume your girlfriend. It might just be someone you know, which is even weirder.
Soon to be fiance.
Extra points.
Soon to
Or
be ex-girlfriend.
So Steve wins the $50 Amazon gift card. But if you forgot to email, I get it. A lot of my favorite podcasts, I'm like, I'm totally going to just throw my 2 cents in, and then I never do. So I understand. But again, for the third time, that's how important it is. Email streamingthingspod@gmail.com. We love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Steve, on winning 50 bones.
I will send the 50 bones, all the bones, at least 49 of them, as soon as we stop recording here.
I mean, there's a tax involved.
There's delivery fee.
Right.
$3. It's a $47 delivery fee. Steve, come on. That brings us to our main event, the recap of season 3 of Stranger Things. So what did you guys think? Where does this rank as far as the rest of the show, as far as seasons 1 and 2? Because in my mind, it's up there with season 1 as far as quality. I know Steve, I think I know what Steve thinks. I'm going to say Steve's ranking is thus: 1, 3, 2, with 1 being vastly above the others. That's what I'm going to say. 1, 3, 2.
Can you guess mine?
I'm going to say Andy, 3, 1, 2.
You would be correct.
All right. So this is the best season of Stranger Things ever, Andy.
Yes. Bar none. Season
No
1,
bars.
Season 1 was absolutely fantastic, and it brought us to a world that we'd never experienced before, but we had also completely experienced in 1,000 different ways, and that's what was cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was an original idea that paid homage to fucking everything, and to a degree stole from a lot. It has so established now that it has turned all the way around and become self-referential. It is the snake that is biting its own tail at this point. And that it is all the better for it.
Or it's the Marilyn Manson with a rib removed, maybe.
Indubitably. No, it's funnier. The action's better. The effects are better. Mike sucks. That's a bummer. But otherwise, it's just a vastly better show. It has it has better stakes. It has more emotional impact. It has better acting all around, except for Winona Ryder and Mike. But yeah, when it's all said and done, when the cards are on the table, it is the best season.
Did you just throw Winona Ryder under the bus?
Yeah, I wanted to put a flag in that to talk about later.
No, well, she fucking killed it the first season is the problem.
Sure,
she
yeah.
had so much to work with then, and she, blew her load in season 1, and so she has a lot less to work with.
I do
a
think
lot like Mike.
This season, Winona
Eaton,
was, I don't even know if it's misused. I think it's on her. Yeah, just a little corny, a little...
I think it's the writing
out
has a
of her
lot to
depth.
do with it for her.
maybe.
She is
Maybe.
the girl that's just out of reach for the most part of this season. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's no longer the mother bear that will do anything to save her cub.
It's probably the writing, too. I mean, they could have done so much with her morning newbie. There wasn't a whole lot of that.
There's a couple scenes.
There's one scene that I remember where she's eating a TV dinner. Like, damn, Bob used to sit here. Anyway, change the channel.
I think a lot of it is the writing because I even feel like for a good chunk of the season, Hopper was also kind of corny in his writing. I mean, he had more stuff to do, like in terms of like, let me turn on badass Hopper mode and beat up the mayor type stuff, and then he had the letter at the end that allowed him to, actually have a serious dialogue and do some range. But he, Joyce didn't have those moments, so she was only a part of her and Hopper's corny love story shenanigans, which, we all, like those characters, want them to get together, but I'm not sure that the writing was as best as it could have been in terms of that doing that relationship proper for this season.
Yeah.
I feel like the Hopper corniness early in the season was just establishing the foundation of what his character growth and arc needed to be by the end, whereas she didn't really have an arc.
I understand what you're saying and why it would throw you for a loop a little bit with the way what they were doing with David Harbour this season, but I loved it. I think it was a great arc because you've got in season 1, the pill popping ex-big city cop dealing with the small town bullshit. He's depressed and
white out
which
here.
is my favorite Hopper, where he's he's just hungover, like whatever, I'm just gonna punch it. And then season 2, he's kind of a father figure. I mean, absolutely is, but at the same time, he's hiding her, so it's weird. Like he doesn't feel validated in being a real father to this girl. And then in season 3, he's almost suburban because everybody knows now, and it's okay to just be an open father figure, and he's got normal suburban fears to deal with as a father. So I love the arc, and I think it was neat. It's just a little different. Steve, was I right in your ranking of where you're putting this season or how you feel about it?
I think so. To be honest, I haven't completely decided on where I want to land this season. I go back and forth.
It's been quite a while.
It has been quite a while. But I go back and forth because I think the last half of the season is so strong and it's so good, and it takes, and I guess it's for this reason where it almost has to be in second place for me, where it takes, the show, and it's taking the show into
fighting for second with season 2.
It's fighting for second, yeah.
Wow.
Because I think season 1 is perfect.
Okay.
Other than some minor things, but I think that first season is so well done, it's so perfect, it's hard to beat for me. But the reason why I go back and forth on whether I like it better than season 2 or not is I'm one of the people who I love season 2. I think season 2 is really, really great. It's like just a notch below season 1 for me. Whereas this season 3, like I said, the last half of the season is just loaded. It's great. It's some of the best Stranger Things has ever been. But that front half of the season, the more and more, I haven't gone back and watched the first 3 episodes of the season because I just wasn't feeling it. And I mentioned it, I think, in the 3rd episode of our coverage on this podcast, how I was like, I don't know if I'm really liking this. And it's because I just didn't like the direction of the first 3 episodes that much.
That was the 3 that we watched together the first day, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's things to like, and I don't know if maybe if I watch it again, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm being a big pussy. But I just didn't
You
like.
are.
Yeah. So
You got to be puss-handed.
I guess, yeah. So I guess it should be number 3 is season 2. Number 2 is season 3 because it sets up so much more in the back half. It's some of the best season Stranger Things has been. And then season 1 is my number 1.
I think that's where
Sorry,
I
that
land.
was too many numbers. Can you just say them in order?
1, 3, 2.
Okay, dope.
Begrudgingly not 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, I think that's where I am. I'm a 1, 3, 2 guy, but I just like Steve said, it's easy to be on the high of season 3, and I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm saying I'm very tempted to do that, but then I think back to how legendary season 1 it was, and how shocking and surprising what they were able to pull off was, and what you mentioned, the amount they.
It's only legendary
Stole.
because of our coverage.
No, I mean
we made that show.
Huge portion of
That's a given.
their listenership is from Streaming Things, a Stranger Things podcast. Now on Spotify, but soon to be on YouTube. Yeah, I just, it took everybody's by surprise. I remember when those memes, those Dave Chappelle, Tyrone, the crackhead memes, like, you got any more of those Stranger Things? I don't know why that always stands out to me. I mentioned it before, but.
God damn.
And I thought I was the only one watching the show, and I came out of my hole, and it was like, oh shit, you guys been digging that too? So anyway, anyhoozle, that's our overall thoughts. I mean, I don't think I have any general themes of this episode to talk about.
Of the series,
I guess the
overall theme is just growing up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously you have the note that Hopper writes 11 and how he's talking about, make mistakes, all that stuff. But then also you get to see Will's journey as well, which I kind of wish they would have explored more because we were so, surprised at how awesome Noah Schnapp was last season.
Yeah.
And he didn't really have that much to do this season other than get a will tingle.
Get a little tingle.
Get a little will tingle. But I for what they did, I did enjoy his kind of like, I'm not ready to grow up and like girls yet. I still want to just hang out with my friends and play D&D. And that is a moment that I think every child at some point I feel like faces where they're like, I just want to be a kid, but everyone's growing up.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. Yeah, absolutely. Because everybody, I remember distinctly, I mean, I played with my, not dolls, but action figures until I think I was like 13 or 14. And like Andy or whoever would show up and I would sling them all off the bed. And I had like Spawn action figures and Ninja Turtles. And I'd be like, and throw them off the bed and then
You
sit
had the
down.
coolest wrestling figures, though. You
Yeah.
had a collection.
And I actually had a ring.
Yeah, that was dope.
That way, I was a huge WWF fan.
My man.
So, like Undertaker. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I throw them off the bed and then pick up a Game Informer or something, like, which is the coolest I could get. Like, that was like, pick up the video game magazine. I'm grown up. And everybody else is playing football and getting hand jobs and stuff. And I'm like,
Spawn.
I think that's what they were doing. That's
Title
what
of my memoir.
I legitimately remember I was in 6th grade and it was everything. Life was great. Everyone was still a kid. It was great. We were all having fun and playing games on recess and stuff. Fast forward 3 months to 7th grade. All of a sudden, it's like over summer, people were like, let's all be cliquey and just be assholes all the time. And there was little old me who's like, who wants to play with the ball with me? And no one was having it. And I was so depressed all of 7th grade. I think I skipped school like 30 something days
Oh my
that year
God.
because I was just like, I hated it because I would go to school and just be like, when did everyone become assholes? We were all friends like 3 months ago.
You're out there playing one square. Bro.
You become Georgie from It.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no.
I can see Steve in a little raincoat.
Going back to the themes.
That's what I came in here with.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think it was just growing up, but like learning to let go. You know what I mean? Like, especially with like Hop, he's grown. Like obviously he's metaphorically growing as a father, but learning to let go of his control over 11, and Mike also learning to let go of his control over 11, his girlfriend. Will learning to let go of his childhood, his Steve moments, if you will, out there playing one square and shit.
Yeah, he's got that arc where he, gives up his D&D.
Yeah, and at the end, but like he mans up. He's like, when they're like, "Man, I'm really sorry we didn't play with you that one day." He's like, "Guys, I don't give a fuck. Like, there's bigger things going on right now." And
Wills
that
are being
was pretty
tingled,
cool.
guys. We got issues.
Right. Tinglies are willing.
Oh no, I don't like that. Yeah, I'd say those are, and there was a lot of feminist overtones, and I wouldn't even call them undertones, and I really enjoyed those.
I don't know. Max was like looking at the camera, basically. You know what I mean?
She can make her own decisions about her body, which is true, and I'm glad that they went there.
And obviously
also
Nancy
and
whole-
Karen and Nancy's employment. Yep.
Oh, you skateboard? Me too.
Right.
# me too.
So I guess this is a good time, as good as any, to Steve. How did we fare in our season 3 predictions that we did a year ago? Probably 15 months ago.
Well, as an old college professor of mine used to say, not good, guys, not good. Yeah, it wasn't great. It's actually really funny the way we were so cocksure of how this season was going to go. And
I
it
hate
just
that phrase, dude.
cocksure.
Just sure on my cock.
Just
What does that phrase mean? Let's dissect it. Is it like as sure as I am that my cock is
I'm
down
so
there?
sure I'm hard.
Okay. Okay.
Does it have something to do with a rooster?
Maybe. I think
Probably.
it does.
Probably, yeah.
Damn it.
Old phrases like that are usually so like innocent and we're all just like,
Right.
ew, wieners. No, but I kind of wrote down individually what we kind of predicted. And Chris, I think, had the most predictions, or at least you went first, so you kind of like set the tone, and a lot of us either. A lot of us,
shade, bro.
No. I'm saying like we were all on the same page, but like I think I wrote down a lot under Chris because you like said everything, and then the rest of us kind of either repeated it or expanded upon it.
Okay.
So we were all sure that season 3 was going to be very government focused. Like it was going to be about the government coming in and covering up what happened in the first 2 seasons, specifically with the return of Dr. Brenner and the fallout of Murray Bauman's, expose that he wrote at the end of season 2. We thought that there would be more special kids like 11 and Callie, number 8. What do I have in here? Oh yeah. Chris, you suggested that Jonathan and Nancy would go to college and not be around that often, and Steve would join the cops. He would join Hopper and like have a lot of confrontation with the inept police officers that we love to make.
I still think that
fun
would
of.
have been good instead of Chips Ahoy. Scoops Ahoy.
And the one thing that you mentioned, Chris, that you were so fucking close to getting this 100%. You were so close, but it just fell short at the end. And I quote, "I hope Karen cowgore rides the shit out of Billy."
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were so close to getting that right, but not to the end.
So I wasn't the only one hoping for that, apparently, with the writers were on board as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Andy, you specifically wanted, again, government stuff, but you thought that there was going to be there was going to be a big situation where the Mind Flayer was more powerful. He was still causing problems, but the gang would have to team up with Dr. Brenner, like an X2.
Oh, damn. That would have been cool, too.
Magneto team up to kind of combat this greater evil,
Season 4, for sure.
For sure. I mean, a lot of this could be in season 4, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then I specifically also kind of...
Well, she's not going to ride Billy now, obviously.
No. That'd be weird.
I mean, you don't know.
Nancy's like, "Mom, I'm never taking you to a funeral again." Slams the door. Sorry. He was just so cocksure.
And I went down the path of Brenner was going to catch Callie and use her powers of mind manipulation to kind of cause a bunch of visions to people. Because we mentioned how one of the Duffer Brothers wrote that season 3 would be a lot weirder. So I said that
I don't know that that's true even.
They were going to use Callie's vision powers to make things weird because you're going to see a lot of visions, a la, again, another X2 reference, Brian Cox's kid in X2.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of.
William Stryker. And that was going to be the weirder things. So those were our predictions for what season 3 was going to end up being.
It's kind of, I'm kind of scared to make
spinoff.
I'm kind of scared to make the season 4 predictions because it'll just mostly be pushing off a lot of those predictions that I still think are inevitable. I mean,
well, do you guys? Well, let's kind of touch on the Duffer saying that season 3 was going to be weirder. Do you think this season was weirder?
no. I think it was gorier, grosser.
It was definitely gorier. Weirder, not necessarily. I think it was more tonally dissonant than previous seasons. It was a roller coaster of funny and extreme, and in that way, you could call it weirder.
The rats exploding and like the corporal realization of the monster was definitely
like
out there.
You see
as
like
fuck.
the little mind flayed kid walking to the group of people. Now you don't see that kid specifically, but then you see the group of people melting into a fucking puddle and becoming a giant blob. You know what I mean? Like that. That's pretty fucked up. And then like immediately before that, you have
Meltman.
You have Ted up on the fucking Ferris wheel getting a hand job. Like, I don't like being up here.
I was gonna say the weirdest thing was Ted still married to Karen.
Yeah, that is weird. That is weird.
It's pretty weird.
So is it a good time to do our season 4 predictions?
Yeah, I mean, this is as good a time as any.
Oh, I don't want to start and take everybody's obvious like I did last time. But
Well, I think we can use our predictions to kind of catapult into a bigger discussion about what people are kind of, the controversy of what people think happened at the end of the season.
Well, I think we're all in agreement, so we can just start there. The show doesn't do a huge. I mean, I think it was purposeful. Like they don't do a very great job of convincing on purpose that Hopper is dead, right? I think you'd have to be, and I don't mean to be insulting, watching pretty casually to think for very long that Hopper died at the end of this season. So we're all three in agreement that Hopper is alive,
dead,
right?
yeah.
I think he's alive.
We all think.
If I can be honest,
Yeah.
when I watched it the first time, I was like, wow, I can't believe they killed off Hopper. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So the show ended with me thinking, wow, Hopper's
You
dead.
got all
That's-
the way to the credits?
Yeah, I got all the way to the credits and I was like, wow, that's nuts. That's Hopper's dead. And then like a day passes and I'm thinking about the ending more. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, well, maybe he's still alive. And
Yeah.
then a buddy of mine texted me like, I don't think he's dead. I'm like, tell me why.
He was really dramatic. Tell me why.
And then he told me his reasons. I'm like, shit, you're right. So
Well,
He should be on the
for
show.
me,
he's smarter than
when
me.
the music cued in and Joyce is doing like the belt thing and they have that look, I was like, holy shit, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But as soon as it went to black and then came back and he had glanced at the gate, I knew him, or I thought immediately, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. All right, safe play, Duffers. I like it.
That cut to black was a can we afford him next season moment.
Man, if Hellboy's really
And then,
popular.
yeah, right. And then came back in after Hellboy's release.
That cut to black, my friend who's like, I don't believe Hopper's dead, I messaged him back like, I don't know, man. I thought it was really tasteful that they didn't show him blow up like the other Russians. I don't want to see David Harbour die like that. And then he told me his reason. I'm like, fuck, you're right. Shit.
So what is the reason? Is it the theory that I have, or is there some deeper?
Oh yeah, it's the theory you have.
Yeah. So we all agree about the gate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that he snuck
He's
in.
alive.
He
He's
dove
not
into
the
the upside
American,
down.
but he is alive.
Right. So then who is the American in Russia? We all think
Dr. Brenner.
Dr. Brenner.
Oh yeah,
Dr. B.
What do you think about that, Dr. Brenner?
it's true. After the first season, I decided to go on a bit of a sabbatical, and I find myself a fan of the vodka. And I thought Moscow's nice. And they picked me up there. They've been giving me a lot of great accommodations. They don't feed me to the Demogorgon,
That is nice.
which I mean, I can only say thank you.
So how do you plan on returning to America?
I'll walk. I don't know why you're laughing.
You're a stroller.
I'm a fit man.
No, you are. Absolutely.
I fancy myself a jogger.
But you're going
It's-
to walk.
Well, I mean, you can't jog the whole way, Christopher. That's a really odd thing to believe.
That would be even weirder, wouldn't it, Duffers?
He turns around. I think I'll go home now.
So here's my predictions. It's going to start off, and I'm going to be pretty specifically vague about this. We're vaguely specific, depends on which way you look at it. The first 2 or 3 episodes, we got 11 no powers. We got major high school shit going on now. So we're going to get a lot of John Holmes references. Or I'm sorry, that's
Hughes?
the porn star.
Whoa. A lot of dick swanging.
No John Holmes references. A lot of John Hughes references.
You can find
however.
that on dibsonskins.com now.
And then the awesome moment where she gets her powers back. I do think for sure this time we're going to have some of the season 2 ancillary characters return, i.e. 8. And
Will we get other numbers?
I think so.
That'd be
I
dope.
think so. That'll coincide great with Dr. Brenner's return.
I want to see what came after 11. I want to see 12. You know what I mean?
And I think there's a lot of talk about this being the last season, but there would be 5 at the most, I think, what the Duffers have said.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer they can stretch the story
I hope
out
it ends
without
soon,
it getting.
which is weird to say, but I love when they go out strong, you know?
Yeah, it's better to go on your own terms than to have to like stretch a story out because of studio meeting, because then it just dilutes the story.
Which is why I'm super bummed about El Camino, but that's neither here nor there. That's for when we expand our podcast. So my biggest theory for the next season, which is a big deal but not at all, setting. I don't think it's going to take place in Hawkins. I think it has to take place somewhere else. This town has been ravaged 3 times now, and everybody knows. We had the expose from Murray in season 2, and then we had the fucking National Guard flying in from all directions, and then that
the cutting edge.
the cutting edge.
So how do you get all the characters together, though?
How far away did Joyce and Will and 11 move? Because they talked
don't
about
know.
Let's meet up during Thanksgiving or maybe Christmas.
Here's my prediction. I think, so first season debuted in July, second season Halloween, third season July. I think we're due.
Was it July for season 1? Because that wasn't
think
that
so.
I think it was
supposed to be during school year.
Yeah, it was like fall, I think, because then it gets into Christmas at the end.
I think it's going to be a Christmas.
So this next season is going to be like all Christmas.
I think it's going to be winter,
So do you think they were
Christmas-based stuff.
laying the groundwork when Mike said, "Oh no, we'll see what Mrs.
As soon
Byers
as he
thinks,
said
but
that,
we can
yeah,
see
that's
what
what I
happens
thought.
during
It would be a
Thanksgiving."
Christmas thing. Yep.
I would love for that to happen. That would be really cool.
And
So we haven't
here's-
really seen any of the. I mean, we had that quick little snippet of Christmas at the end of season 1, but there hasn't been a lot of actiony stuff in like a snow-covered, Christmas light, because you can get a lot of cool gremlins, eggos and stuff like that.
Speaking of eggos for season 4, these are all of the biggest films of 1986.
Oh, I got a bunch.
Aliens, obvi. I'm going to pick a few that I think would come out of nowhere and be
'Cause they've,
awesome.
they've already done Aliens kind of in
Ferris
season 2.
Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
Andy, you got it. We'll just do 2 at a time.
Top Gun.
Ooh,
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
we're gonna get some shirtless volleyball.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Hell yeah. Labyrinth.
Oh, I love Labyrinth.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Hell yeah.
Classic.
Hell yeah.
This one I feel like it's like not as popular as the ones we've already named, but has to be in there. Highlander.
That would be amazing.
one.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
that line has to be in there at some point, right?
Short Circuit, I think, is going to be huge.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And the Croc.
There's gonna be a character named Johnny, and he's gonna be number 5. That's gonna be
And he's going to be alive.
yeah.
You've got The Fly, which might make a reference. That'd be cool. Pretty in Pink, I think, is going to be huge for Eleven's arc.
Absolutely.
There was a few. 9.5 Weeks would be weird.
It would be weird.
But bold. Howard the Duck. Holy shit. Anyway, that's where I think a lot of that. And Stand By Me.
Stand By
they've
Me
already
might
done
be
that a
it.
lot.
Yeah.
We both decided to gloss over that one.
Right.
That's awkward. Yeah, so that's our season 4. Any other huge predictions? I mean,
I got the big one.
the biggie. Okay.
Ooh. Ted sacrifices himself to save the world.
Oh, Ted's gonna have a redemption arc.
Yes, he has to have something. He cannot be the fucking heel for 4 seasons in a row. Swear to God, like
You're being dead serious about this?
no, he's not going to sacrifice himself to save the world, but he's going to have some sort of redemption arc.
Okay.
He can't be that's just bad storytelling if you have the same guy that you take a shit on every 4 or 5 episodes.
But it's fun.
It was. It's not anymore. I'm gonna be mad if they turn
Fuck
around
Ted.
and he's fucking passed out again, and Baby Holly's like poking him and shit. I'm gonna be like, what?
Or Karen just leaves him.
Yeah. And then to try to win her back, he sacrifices himself for the greater good.
Ted's
Boom,
like
there it is.
a
season
even lamer
4, episode 7. Calling it now.
Ted's an even lamer Jerry from Rick and Morty. Yeah, it's fucking Jerry.
God damn it, Jerry.
I mean, yeah, but still, I stand by it.
Okay. That's good. That's solid.
Do you think,
you're convincing
Other
me?
predictions were the same as yours, that Eleven's going to struggle to get her powers back around episode 4 or 5. She's going to get them back. She's going to
It's gonna be amazing.
Adapt to the new life without the powers, and she's going to get bullied in some ways, and she's going to try to do something
She's
with
not
the
going to
powers,
find
and
out
she's not
Hopper's
gonna be
still
able to do
alive
it.
until like episode 6.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before Hop comes back for sure.
Backtrack a little bit, but another thing to mention that proves that Hopper's still alive is the song "We Can Be Heroes" was played before.
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel, "We Can Be Heroes" was played when they faked out Will's death in season 1. So
which
it's
is
almost,
a really good call.
which is almost like the creator saying like he's not dead. If
And
we
guys-
pulled this shit with the same song in season 1.
Guys, you got to believe me on this. Steve caught that on his own prior to it being all over the internet. And we couldn't mention it because we weren't doing this episode till a month and a half later.
Fuck yeah.
So I just want to give, I know you won't believe me, but I was there when he said it. Don't fucking question me.
Yeah. I got a quarter of an EGOT, motherfuckers.
I just got I got a tingling of a new prediction too. What do you think about 11 doesn't know Hop's alive because she doesn't have her powers.
Oh, yeah.
And when she gets them back, however that is, and I picture her getting bullied at school and then finally in a rage or something, they come back, right?
She makes that kid piss himself again.
Something even more high school
yeah.
like this.
Troy.
Maybe, I don't know, kills him. And then
kills him.
And then once she has her powers back, then she gets aware that Hop's in the Upside Down, somehow surviving, Predator style, and maybe opens a gate on purpose to get Hop out. And that causes some danger.
Probably it.
But there's already a Demogorgon alive and well in our universe, so they don't need to do that. But
What I want to know is, what does it mean for the upside down people, the Demogorgons, the Mind Flayers, whatever, to now have the Wiggly Blood? Because the Wiggly Blood was Eleven's power. Obviously, it wasn't actually her power, but that is the medium through which she lost her powers. That Wiggly Blood has since been absorbed into the upside down side.
no,
What
it
is-
hasn't, because that physical manifestation just dropped and laid in the mall.
But does it still have it?
No.
No. So what I'm getting at
I
is,
guess it could psychically
can they
take
see
it.
into our side now? Is what I'm, in the way that she made contact, you let us in. Can they now make contact from the other side? Now that would necessitate having a more sentient bad guy, because up to this point we haven't had that much.
That would be cool if they had a sentient bad guy rather than a monster.
Right. And with the closest we've gotten to that was daycare.
Yes.
Billy
Billy.
running around. He was sentient, but not. You know
Well,
what I
you
mean?
imagine the Mind Flayer is sentient, but it can't communicate
Sure.
to us unless it has a vessel like
But
Billy.
who is the king of the
Right. How
upside down?
xenophobic of you, Andrew. Just because we don't communicate the same way doesn't mean they don't have intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dolphins are smart too, bro.
Awkward.
Yeah, that Demodog at the end knew it could eat that guy's face. So
So now we're supposed to do our top 3 favorite episodes. I, like an idiot, did my 3 favorite moments. So you can just say that the episode in which they were found is my fave.
where?
Am I going to cheat?
What if they're in the same episode?
2 of mine are. I mean, spoiler alert. That's the finale, which is really lame, but I'm just being honest. Okay, my number 3. God damn it. I don't even know, man.
I don't even know.
Whatever
man.
episode where Nancy and Karen have that huge heart to heart and she inspires Nancy to be a strong
That
woman.
is episode 4.
Then
the
that is
sauna
my
test.
that is my number 3. And I actually do fucking love that episode when he gets caught in the sauna and shit. That's dope. Yeah, fuck yeah. That's my number 3. Planned it out, thought it out, wrote it out because I'm a professional. Boom. Steve, you go now.
My number 3 is episode 7, The Bite.
Okay.
I picked this episode because it's a really good, cool, like kind of ramping up of the stakes. It's like the penultimate episode, so a lot of the characters are finally coming together to start fighting, the problems. But the reason that this episode made my top 3 is 110% the scene with Robin and Steve in the bathroom. First, because they're on fucking drugs in the first half of the episode,
awesome.
which is awesome and hilarious. But then they have that really heart-to-heart touching moment where Steve finds out that Robin is gay, and his reaction to it, and her building up the nerve to tell him that. I just love that moment. Those actors are so great. They play off each other so well, and I can't wait to see more of them in season 4. Andy.
Nice. It wasn't because Eleven was out there ripping off all them tips.
I will rip some tips.
Rip the tips.
Ripping tips.
Is that the new tips on skins?
There it is.
Rip some tips.
My number 3 is also chapter 4, the sauna test. Basically,
Sauna.
the sauna test. All of my top 3 episodes are based entirely on Daycare Montgomery, Daycare Montague. His acting prowess and how impactful he was. Specifically with chapter 4, it was the turning point for the season. When you guys were talking earlier about how the season 3 kind of took a little while to ramp up, episode 4 was the episode where I was like, oh shit, there are stakes and they are dope and they are rare. You know what I mean?
No, a steak reference. I get it.
Yeah.
It's T-E-A-K.
I rate that an A1. That's
Nice.
My number 2. Wait, are you done? I'm sorry.
I am now.
I'm sorry. Now I made it real awkward. It's really fucking awkward because I didn't even have a number 2. I just was trying
My number 2 is episode 2.
Cocksure.
trying to keep things flowing. Just to not pick 7, I'm going to pick 6, E pluribus unum.
Out of many one.
Out of many one, which is my favorite episode to talk about in my recollection.
Yeah, we had a fun time on that episode.
Yeah. And isn't that the one where Alexi dies?
I think so. Yeah.
So I really love that episode, not because that was awesome. It was very sad, but it was a very good episode. We get to say goodbye to Smirnoff, one of those beloved characters. And that's really, and I love that character a lot before, but it's where it sealed the deal when I decided I really love Murray Bauman. I mean, this is just a perfect man. That fucking guy kills it. Yeah. Perfect man.
This is the perfect man.
For a creepy, schizoid, crazy person, he's just perfect. Other than that, so that's my number 2. E pluribus unum, out of many one. Steve,
my number 2 is the sauna test, episode 4. Man, this episode, like I said, the early goings of season 3, wasn't feeling it, and then season 4 hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. I was not ready for the hard right turn down Awesome Street.
2,000 pounds of bricks.
I mean, just everything about this episode. I mean, you touched briefly about some of the other things before, but I'll talk about the actual sauna test. Like, that was legitimately a very tense scene, and you got to see the kids finally working together and acting as a group. And Dacre Montgomery, his acting in that is so damn good. And then seeing him like physically being able to almost push his way out of 11's, force powers.
That was scary to see her threatened.
Yeah. And it literally at the end of that episode, it's like I think I watched that episode
Billy was like, silly girl. You know how many reps I put up? I can bust 175 20 times. All right, go.
I started watching the episode at 11 o'clock thinking like, well, I'll just watch this and go to bed. That ended, and I ended up fucking watching 3 more episodes because of it. Because that ending was just this finally has stakes and I'm fucking in it. Stranger Things, cannot wait. Let me on this ride. So that is my number 2.
Damn. Andy, numero dos. That's Spanish for number 2.
Numero dos. Battle of Starcourt.
Ooh,
Chapter 8
shocker.
Is my number 2. Again, Daycare fucking kills it. We get the flashback, the culmination of the flashback stuff, where 11 speaks to him in the final moments, and she was so pretty, and you were surfing, and things were happening. He sacrifices himself. All of that was fucking dope. It is just a tonal roller coaster. So we go back and forth. I'm trying to ignore the people out there. We go back and forth between crazy action and then these weird comedic moments, back to crazy action, and then we get the probably greatest moment in all of Stranger Things, which is the never-ending story with Dustin.
Yes.
And Susie. And just that moment is the perfect fucking comedy relief climax moment in any TV show that I can think of. It was brilliant. How they did it, the fucking mind flayer chasing people down the road and fucking Dustin and Susie in the background story, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking brilliant. So well done.
Nicely carried tune, Andy.
Thank you, sir.
It's beautiful.
You did a lot better than when we sang it.
Oh, I know, right? That's because I work solo, y'all. Chris, what's your number 1?
I'm shocked that everyone's number 1 is not the Battle of Starcourt. It is the Battle of Starcourt, which is the only way to correctly say the chapter title, Chapter 8.
Starcourt.
Say it again.
Welcome to the Mall of Starcourt. You can go to the House of Walden Books. Enter the court of the Burger King.
But be mindful of the gap. Yeah, I mean, it's the finale, so obviously that's when the most shit's going to happen. But I was shocked at how emotionally engaged I was with the redemption of Billy. The letter written by Hop to 11.
Oh, I forgot about the letter.
Damn it. All I can think of. A lot of nights that I can't sleep even a month later. Just the destruction of my soul. Millie Bobby Brown, holy shit, can never say enough about her every year. And of course, the most important moment in all of television, the Never-Ending Story song. Just rocked me off my socks and took me completely by surprise. Yeah, and it left me, which is hard to do, ending a season 3 sometimes, with not a whole lot, even though we had a lot of predictions, not a real good idea of where things are going, but very excited to find out. And, more excited a bigger fan of the show than ever, which is tough to do sometimes with a show this big.
And props to you, Chris, because we didn't mention this before in the predictions for this season, but this is another moment of hashtag Chris was right. Because we mentioned the Duffers in an interview said that they wrote Billy to be an irredeemable character that could act as a human antagonist to the kids. And you specifically went on a rant about how you didn't believe that Billy was irredeemable and that he could be redeemed possibly in season 3. And it looks like you were right.
I said that?
You did.
That's smart stuff.
You did it, man.
You really did it.
You did it.
Here's my Emmy. I'll take it.
Wait.
Damn. You should let me touch it. The Emmy, Steve. Put that away.
I'll Harvey Weinstein you. You can touch
You're so
that.
cocksure. Now that's a cocksure man. Anyway, Steve, how'd you get that Emmy, Steve? What have you done? What is your number 1 episode of the season?
To truly tell you guys what my number 1 episode is, I can't just say it. I can't show it to you. I can merely do something that, cues you in my mental state as to why this episode is my favorite. And the only way to do that, to illustrate my love for this episode, is through song. Turn around. Look at what you see. Is Battle of Starcourt.
Battle of Starcourt.
Starcourt. We are in love with Starcourt. No, that
Exterminate.
Sorry, I had to do that. We're doing the voice. God, there's Daleks in here. Shit. No, everything you said before about the reasons that you love Starcourt, same thing for me. It's such a great episode. You get the team back together, but most importantly, I'll say it again, the ending of Battle of Starcourt is taking Stranger Things as a show to completely new places. It's the most different and the most, unsure of where they're going to go after this. Because, they, quote unquote, killed Hopper. They're moving people out of Hawkins. There's Russians now who are competing for gate access. The world of Stranger Things has just blown up. It's huge. It's so much bigger than it was in the first season and the second season. So for that is why, and also, Susie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Those are the reasons why Battle of Starcourt wins my favorite episode of the season.
I think I just was thinking about that while you were talking. It was something completely different. No, I think they don't have room for everybody in season 4, and there may be a season 5 where there's a reuniting, but I would almost love to see them drop Charlie Heaton off, maybe just a phone call here and there, maybe one strong episode with a lot of Charlie, and that's it. Do the same thing, and this could be whatever controversial.
Kill off Jaybird?
Not kill him off, just let him go do something.
He should have died this season.
Let the Jaybird fly.
Keep Nancy, A1, front center, right? She's on the, if it was basketball, you pick 5.
Medium
Millie
rare.
Bobby Brown, Nancy for sure. Max and Lucas, keep them. Love that duo. Keep Steve and Robin for sure, for the bulk of the season.
Dustin.
Dustin and maybe even Susie.
So you're naming everybody but Mike.
No.
Is what you're
Drop out Mike. Yeah. Drop out Joyce.
Okay.
Oh, really? Drop out Joyce? I feel like Joyce is going to have a huge role next season.
She has to.
I don't like it.
I love Joyce.
I don't know. I just think that there's other places to go, other characters introduce.
I feel like they could really go, kind of like how they brought in, they expanded Erica's role a lot this season. I feel like they could do that with Baby Holly. Finally get Baby Holly a Ginny treatment, like from Harry Potter, where she's in the background. All of a sudden, oh, Ginny's a character now.
Maybe, but
That's
I'd
a
like to
really
see
good
another
analogy, actually.
teen. Yeah, I'd like to see another teen or adult.
Maybe that what's his fuck the video game and video store kid.
No, fuck that guy.
I don't
Fuck that
remember his
guy.
name, but
I bet they bring him. They expand his role. I don't know. I get a feeling that they're going to expand
Wish
that
I
guy's
was
role.
Steve is all I can describe him as. I
Fuck
have
that
no idea
guy.
what his actual
Cheesy
name
poops
is.
eating ass.
Right. He's a creeper, dude.
He's going to be Bob Newbeat in this next season.
What was more sad, Bob Newby or Billy?
Newbie, Billy.
Oh, I thought it was a hands down Andy from left field with the Billy. Dibs on Billy.
Tips on Billy. No, I just was more emotionally invested in him. Steve Newby was just like,
Whoa. Bob.
I'm sorry, Bob Newby.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Steve Newby.
he is a good guy, and that's why I had to call him Steve. No, like he was great and all. I just was so ready for him to be a villain that
Oh yeah, I was super convinced.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there mentally when he died. I was like, wait, no, he's still going to turn around and shoot somebody, right? Like, even as he's dying, I'm like, he's still a bad guy, right? But no, just I was more emotionally invested in Billy by far. But I think that also has a lot to do with how thoroughly impressed I was with his acting prowess this season, which brings me around to my number one, which was Chapter 6, E Pluribus Unum.
Out of many one.
Out of many, number one.
Nice.
Wow, that really shocks me.
And it's
Is it Smirnoff?
Smirnoff was a big part of that. That's where we had the whole No Cherry, No Deal, right? Was that entire episode. Mostly it was the emotional roller coaster that was the almost what's the movie I'm trying to think of?
Broken Arrow.
No. With the
Smurfs too.
spinning top.
Inception.
The Inception-esque
I thought it was Face
emotional roller coaster of 11 looking for Billy, finding him, seeing his past, the fall forward, the crazy fucking editing of that.
Was great.
It was
It was
amazing.
great.
And then the fall backward. And,
The 11 face.
And then that fucking "You Let Us In" monologue was just
Oh yeah,
the chills. All the chills.
You got the Willy Chilies.
I got the Willy Chilies.
that is such a great scene. You're right.
That was, it's probably tied for the turnaround.
They should have put that in the trailer.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know, right?
They should have.
Yeah. Oh my God, that episode's so good.
You're right. That's all. So we all had three. No, we didn't have three different number ones. Sorry. Andy was different.
Andy's
But
always
still,
different.
A good top three. Who do you guys think is going to be the big throwback actor in season 4? Because we had Paul Reiser, we had Sean Astin, we've had what's his fucking name?
Paul Reiser, Sean Astin, Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
The Princess Bride guy.
Carrie Ells. that's his name?
Ellis or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Fred Savage? He would definitely
Savage.
he would take the check. Is all I'm saying. Like he's not busy.
He's more of a director now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fred.
The kid from Christmas Story? Christmas Carol?
What? Christmas Carol or Christmas Story? Vastly different.
Wait,
Yeah.
Christmas Story.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yes.
I don't know the
not
actor's name.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
He's more of a producer now.
I think
but
he's pretty old now.
he's like 40s.
Is that it?
I don't know. I honestly haven't kept tabs on him.
Yeah, he's like a actually super established producer.
You know
now.
who should have played
can't remember his
T2 is
fucking
fucking Dolph Lundgren.
Didn't he just die?
Could they?
Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
He's still with us, I think.
I
yeah.
don't think he's.
I'm pretty sure Dolph Lundgren's still around.
I don't think he's in the Upside Down.
He's probably getting more chemistry degrees, probably.
Who am I thinking of that just died?
I could see them doing.
It was the Tears and Rain guy that just died.
Yes.
Oh, Rutger Hauer.
They look a lot
Yeah.
alike.
Rutger Hauer would have been cool.
Man, dude, that depresses me. I fucking love Rutger Hauer.
Way to go, Andy.
Sorry, guys.
Son
I
of a
didn't mean to bring
bitch.
it down. I'm sorry.
How about Jean-Claude Van Damme? That'd
I
be
would
awesome.
say yes, but I feel like if
JC
they were
Vanderbilt,
going to
did
bring
he?
him back, he should have been the T2 guy.
JCVD.
Yeah.
he's too short.
Is
I mean, he can do camera tricks.
Is he a
but
short guy?
I don't know.
I
What
mean,
about Elijah Wood?
Nobody knows how tall Tom Cruise is.
Just because I love Elijah Wood. It's
That would
no
be
80s
amazing.
reference.
I could see them. I mean, how
Mark Hamill. Right?
Oh, just if Mark Hamill voiced something, even that would be so fucking
They
great.
can't get Marky Mark.
Sure, they can. It's Netflix. He just did Dark Crystal.
Yeah, but he likes voice stuff.
He likes acting.
All right, I challenge you, Duffer Brothers. Get Mark Hamill. Prove me wrong. That'd be fucking awesome. Do it.
Let's see. Who could they get? I could see them doing, what would be like the most baller, like we're throwing all the money at Stranger Things if they did get Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I don't think he would say yes because I feel like Tom Cruise would be like, this is weird.
I'm
I
playing
don't get
Mike,
to run
right?
enough.
No, I'm playing 11, right?
It'd be kind of funny to see Billy Crystal in there. Mm-hmm. Just being a manic, maybe he's the shop owner that Joyce works for in the new neighborhood. I'm trying to think of a good like 80s throwback because they had like a bunch of Phoebe Cates references, but who's like a great
Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald? Yeah.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried. all these dumb kids and powers coming in.
Judd
HFR.
Nelson. Judd Nelson. He's
Oh, man.
fucking
That would be
harsh,
super
bro.
dope. Super dope. Some fuck named John Hughes.
John Holmes.
Yeah.
John
Holmes.
Strong
Get
John Holmes
in there.
reference. Oh my god.
There's like a plethora of people. Whoever they get, it's going to be like fun.
Is there
for sure?
Believe it or
anybody
not,
else?
there were a lot of people in 1980.
Pretty much anybody from the Cobra Kai show on YouTube. Red.
Billy Zabka.
Yeah.
He would be fucking dope.
Ooh, Great Mouse Detective was that year. Hoosiers. Oh my god. Manhunter. Sorry, went back to that page. Critters. Money Pit. Police Academy 3.
What?
The only section we have left, Platoon,
Arsenio Hall.
is
Sure.
the only section we have left is to go over Easter eggs we missed, right?
Yes.
I'm getting sleepy.
Wait, there were a few Easter eggos that I did not get to say before, and if we're not going to go back, I need to say them now.
What Easter
Because-
eggs that you think is going to
Yeah,
happen
because
next season?
we talked about movies, but we didn't talk about like other
Okay.
cultural events. Going
Okay.
back to 1986, Chernobyl happens in 1986.
Okay, good one. Ooh, I didn't think about.
Oh, actually,
I
that's a
didn't think
good
about
tie-in
world
with the
events.
Russians. Yeah.
Yep,
Wow,
absolutely.
that could be like that was Chernobyl.
That's why Chernobyl happened.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Holy
big
shit,
one,
that's
Andy.
great.
Let's see.
Andy
There
coming in with
is-
a big swinging cocksure dick.
Now, this is like a modern but also throwback thing. In the United States in 1986, there was a national ban on smoking on public transit. And as we know, Netflix recently vowed to reduce showing smoking in their shows. And I could absolutely see that being tied in. Just seeing anybody Hop when he comes back trying to get on a bus and light a cigarette, and they're like, man, you can't smoke anymore. And he's like, I just got back from the Upside Down and I can't smoke anymore. What the fuck? And then mad cow disease.
I can see that. That's brilliant. Man,
just-
cow disease was in '86. Mm-hmm. I feel like I remember that, and I wasn't born yet.
Right. But yeah, those were my three big ones.
Okay, those are awesome. Now, eggos that we missed in season 3. Steve, I know you got some big uns prepared,
I
right?
didn't research this at all.
I actually don't have a lot of big ones prepared. I do have some. Like when I thought this was kind of clever. The episode where 11 is looking for Heather, and she's kind of going through the Upside Down and looking around for her. There's a scene where she walks up to Heather's house. The front of Heather's house is supposed to evoke the house of Nancy Thompson's family in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Like it has the red door that's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the same exact house, but it's meant to look like it. That's mine.
Really?
Yeah. Because I feel like I did do some research, and to be honest, this season more so than past seasons, there was
nailed it.
not so much that we nailed it, but there was a lot of like, because you look up, Stranger Things 3 Easter eggs, and you look at what people come up with. A lot of them that we didn't already talk about, I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know.
They're stretches.
That's a bit of a stretch. I don't even want to give that any sort
Right.
of credence.
Well, there's a couple real ones that we never.
Taking a page out of our book.
Jim Hopper channeling Martin Brody. One of his lines in season 3 when Harper's about to leave Enzo's after Joyce stands him up. He's told he can't take the alcohol with him, to which he responds, I can do anything I want. I'm chief of police, which is the exact line from a scene in Jaws where Chief Brody says that before he takes a
nice.
swig of his drink.
Sorry, when you said Martin Brody, I had no idea who you were talking about. If you said Jaws Brody, I would have
Jaws.
gotten it. Yeah.
The Jaws guy.
Murray Bauman's phone number's real. We've all dialed that. I think we did it on air once, didn't
We
we?
sure did.
Yeah, that was a post-credit scene.
Billy Hargrove's nod to Stand By Me. Billy Hargrove surprisingly turned into a character you felt sorry for by the end of season 3. His scenes in the first episode proved he was still just as much of a bully as he was in season 2. Blah, 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 blah. Billy calls him a lard ass at the kid at the pool, which is apparently a Stand By Me reference.
That was a funny moment that like we loved when we
Yeah.
reviewed that episode, but we never like went back to it.
We
Hey, lard
we
ass.
called it that he was going to get his comeuppance, and he never did, and that's really sad.
Dustin and Robin recreated a scene from 1992's Sneakers. A Twitter user pointed out an unexpected callback to the 92 River Phoenix, fucking shit, River Phoenix film. River Phoenix film Sneakers, as Dustin and Robin recreate one of its scenes.
Battle of Starcourt.
The Battle of Starcourt. When getting the complete blueprints of the Starcourt Mall, it's almost word for word, with the only difference being that in Sneakers, they're looking at the Playtronics corporate headquarters. Bum, ba, bum. 11 visits the house from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's the one I pulled up.
During 11's scariest venture into the void this season, she tries to find the missing lifeguard Heather. Ba, 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 bum. Oh, that house. I didn't notice that at all. Holy shit. Nancy Thompson's family in 1984's Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay.
That's the one where Nancy's mom at the end becomes a blow-up doll, right?
Whoa.
It's not meant to be that the last shot is Freddy Krueger like drags her mom through the window of the door, but like
you can
there's
see.
there's like a frame where like the real actress becomes a blow up doll so that it can fit through the door.
It's like the top window thing. I remember what you're talking about. Yeah,
but you can clearly tell that an actress just becomes a blow up doll for a frame.
I
love stuff like that.
Watch
those
those.
are the only ones we missed because the rest of them were about like the Weird Al Yankovic shit.
Well,
that
we
Steve
talked
caught.
about it earlier.
Sorry, Andy.
You're good.
That actually does remind me the Weird Al Yankovic song that we talked about in
It's one of Reality Bites.
what? I'm blanking.
It's like
Professor
episode
Clark.
2.
My Bologna.
Yeah, My Bologna in Mr. Clark's garage. She's
Yeah.
got that like train set thing. The Beetlejuice is I think it's either the house or the grave of Beetlejuice is like prominently shown in his little landscape.
Is that an ode to when he shrank to the size of the model?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the
Holy shit.
Easter eggs. I was like, oh wow, yeah, that's good. I can't believe I forgot about that one.
There it is. That's going to be our 80s cameo.
Ooh, I love the Keaton.
Wouldn't that be dope?
That would be fucking amazing.
Right?
Michael Keaton. We called it up top. Andy. I mean Andy. Andy's got some good predicts.
Air 5, bro. You
He's
and me.
really cocksure about these.
I really love your Chernobyl prediction.
That's definitely
I think
gonna happen.
that's going to be a big thing.
For show.
Big thing. I think that wraps up our season 3 recap, guys, and season 4 predicts.
Feels weird.
I'm kind of sad.
I'm lonely, but I'm excited because don't forget, if you've made it this far, the show will continue. We've got new logo already done. Music, Andy's working on it.
He jammed earlier today, guys.
We've got, give us 2 weeks ish, right? And then we're going to I'm going to be moved to my new home. We'll get a set schedule for you all to participate in. We might release like a PayPal or a Patreon soon just to alleviate some of the pressure because we, invest a lot into this. But at the very least, just fucking email. You know what I mean? Let us know we're not alone in all of our hard effort. We would love that. Or follow me on Twitter. I'm Chris at CMichaelRudd. Andy.
I'm Andy at Inkwell Verbal.
I'm Steve at Steve May 13.
It's always fun.
Love it. And the email again is streamingthingspod@gmail.com. We love you all so goddamn much.
Congratulations to Steve. The last name I don't remember.
Vukovic.
Congratulations on your 50 bones, man.
Also-
Great job on that email.
Congrats for getting to watch the Battle of Starcourt.
What? Fuck that up.
It is an honorable battle. Many lives were lost, including those of the Russian employees that worked at the mall.
My name is Chris.
I'm Andy.
I'm Steve.
And this has been
To war.
I love you.